The teachings of the church, it just seems like a cult, and she just got swept away in it.
She was faithful, like blindly faithful.
I will see my daughter. I will see her.
When 20-year-old Joy Morgan left her biological family, she thought that she was joining a bigger, much better family in her church. People who loved and cared for her and shared her beliefs. Then she disappeared. And it took 6 weeks for anyone to even know that something was wrong.
I did not believe there was anything wrong. I thought there was something wrong with my phone, then there was something wrong with Joy's phone, and I didn't get her. Then there was other things happening, and I was phoning her. All of a sudden, February 6th, I was going, hold on a second here, it's 6 weeks. I will never not feeling guilt until the day they bury me.
The police believed that Joy was dead, but who killed her? And where was her body? This is the case of Joy Morgan, the girl who was drugged and killed by her church friend. Born on February 12, 1998, Joy Morgan lived in South London with her family. Her mom, Carol, was a caretaker who would often work 12 to 15-hour shifts to make ends meet, and she had 3 siblings, an older brother, Earl, who she was absolutely close with, and 2 younger sisters, Dion and Shona. Although the family didn't have a lot of money, they loved each other and enjoyed spending time together doing simple things like going to the park, swimming, cooking, and playing Monopoly, which Earl would always win. According to her family, Joy lived up to her name. She was beautiful and a happy girl who was always smiling and was an absolute joy to be around.
Joy was lovely as a kid. She was so funny and energetic and always smiling and running around, and just she was lovely, really nice.
Growing up, Joy went through a series of life-changing tragedies. Her uncle Prince, who she was also close to, died from cancer in 2006 when she was only 8. Then 6 years later, her stepdad also died from the same illness. And then in 2014, her biological father took his own life. Losing 3 father figures in a span of 8 years would devastate anyone, and Joy was no different. She felt completely lost and empty, and like most people, she started seeking comfort in religion. Sadly, the comfort she got came at a very high price. After her dad died, Joy was going through YouTube videos searching for religious teachings when she stumbled upon one particular video from a US-based church called Israel United in Christ, or IUIC. And from there, her life took a dramatic change.
Before coming into the truth, I was kind of into the Illuminati thing, so I was like watching videos, like researching it, and then one of the suggested videos was from IUIC Atlanta camp, and from then I was mind blown, and from there it just continued.
Now, before we go any further, let me tell you a little bit about this church, IUIC. Founded in 2003 in New York, IUIC was a part of a movement called the Black Hebrews Israelites. It has around 40 places of worship in different places around the US and the world, and its leader is a man called Bishop Nathaniel Israel. This church has pretty controversial beliefs that have made some people even call it a hate group. It also has very strict rules that all members are expected to follow. One of the rules is that men and women are not allowed to sleep together before marriage, or even be alone in the same room together if they are not husband and wife. The men also sit apart from the women inside the church. The organization also has a strict hierarchy system only for the men, with Bishop Nathaniel being at the very top, followed by deacons, captains, officers, soldiers, and then brothers. Women don't have any formal ranks in the church and are only referred to as sisters. They're also expected to call all men sir when addressing them. Anyone who breaks the rules or questions the leaders in this organization can be demoted, punished, or kicked out of the church. After coming across their videos on YouTube, Joy believed everything they were saying and became a staunch follower of the church. She began distancing herself from her family, choosing to spend most of her time in her room listening to the YouTube videos. In January 2016, Joy joined the UK branch of the church, which was located in East London, and according to her family, she became a totally different person.
She became someone different. She became to separate herself from her family, which was important to her, because I know Joy loves her family. The teachings of the church, it just seems like a cult, and she just got swept away in it.
Joy's mom, Carol, said that her daughter started treating them like they were dirty people or sinners in their own home, because they had not converted to her faith. The bond that she once had with her younger sisters also vanished, and she started insulting them, calling them demons and devils, just because they were mixed race.
Well, because like in the Israelite church, you can't be Israelite if your father's a white man. So she would be like to my little sister, "You're a white devil," and it was like, whoa, what's happened to Joy?
At this point, Carol decided that she had had enough, and so she took away Joy's laptop, hoping that it would make her come back to her senses and see that what she was doing was wrong. However, things didn't go quite as planned. Joy and her mom got into a huge fight, and she eventually packed up her things and left home. She became homeless for quite some time before she was given a place to stay by the local government, until she enrolled at the university to study midwifery. She would talk to her family once in a while, but the distance between them continued to grow as she became more and more involved at the church. She saw IUSC members as her family.
IUIC is my family, and like the best family that I've ever had.
But one member of this new family would turn on her in the most horrible way. On Christmas Day of 2018, Carol desperately wanted to see Joy, so she called her and begged her to join the family at her aunt's house for a big Boxing Day celebration. But Joy refused, saying that her church did not allow them to celebrate Christmas. Her mom tried to persuade her, telling her that it was not really a celebration and that it was just going to be a small family gathering, with dinner and a game of Monopoly. Maybe this time they would even beat Earl, she said. Carol even offered to send her a cab that would bring her to London from her student housing in Harfield. Still, Joy refused, and she said that she had other things planned for that day at the church. That was the last time that Carol would ever hear from her daughter again. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into a month, without hearing anything from Joy. And Carol didn't think much of it because she was used to her daughter going off the grid like that. But then on February 7th, 2019, Carol received a disturbing call from Joy's roommates, who told her that they had not heard from Joy since Christmas and that she had not paid her part of the rent. Carol immediately knew that something was wrong and tried calling her daughter's church to see if they'd heard anything from her, but no one picked up her calls or even tried to call her back. Worried that something bad might have happened to her daughter, Carol went to the police and filed a missing persons report. An investigation was soon launched, with the police talking to everyone that knew Joy, including several of her church members. They told the police that Joy was a regular member of the church, but said that the last time they had seen her was on December 26th at an event in the church. So they knew all along that Joy was missing, and yet they never bothered to call Joy's mother or even tell the police what was happening? That's just wrong. They claimed that they thought that Joy had left the church because her number was removed from the church's chat on Telegram on December 28th. Yet they admitted that they were surprised because Joy was very loyal to the church and had not indicated that she wanted to leave.
She was very loyal to IUIC, extremely loyal. She wouldn't be the sort of person that you could raise any concerns or worries about the congregation to her. She was faithful, like blindly faithful.
Some members said that they tried to call her, but her phone was not going through. 2 members even went to her place to check on her, but she was not there. All this suspicious stuff, yet none of them thought of informing Joy's mother. But there was one particular member that seemed especially concerned about Joy. He had called her phone multiple times and had gone to her place several times to look for her. His name was Shofael Israel. Originally from Nigeria, Shofa had lived in the UK since 1997. He joined the Israel United in Christ Church in 2016 after being introduced by his wife, and he became a dedicated member of the church, even rising to the rank of a soldier during the time that he was there. He was described by the church as an enthusiastic member who was always offering to help in any way. Police learned that Shofa and along with his wife were good friends with Joy and would often offer her rides back to the campus from the church. When the police first talked to Shofa, he told them that he last saw Joy at a church event on December 26th, and then he drove her to her home in Hatfield.
The 6th was a Wednesday. I dropped her off on the 26th because my wife was pregnant. And at first, yes, on that day when I dropped her off, she was supposed to be spending the night with my wife because she normally stays with her sometimes.
However, there were so many gaps to the story, and the police did not believe him. And a few days later, he was arrested and charged with Joy's murder. The chilling truth of what really happened to Joy was finally revealed during the trial. The court heard that instead of taking Joy home on December 26th, Shofa had taken her back to his place where she stayed for 2 nights while his wife was away. Shofa claimed that he only took her there because she was upset and wanted to leave the church. He said that he lied because he was worried about having broken the rules of the church that banned women from being alone with men other than their husbands. He claimed that Joy only slept on the sofa and that he did not do anything to her because he saw her as a daughter. However, some text messages which he had reportedly sent to Joy in March 2018 showed a completely different picture. In the texts, he called her an amazing princess and a treasure that cannot be measured. The court heard that on December 28th, Shofa's car was seen in a place called Stevenage, and around the same time, Joy's phone signal was detected around the same area, which was quite far from where she lived. What were the two of them doing there? The prosecution believed that Joy was already dead at that time, and Shofa was looking for a place to dump her body. That same night, he also removed her number from the church's chat group on Telegram, trying to cover up his tracks. Joy's house keys were, however, found inside his car by the police. After 4 weeks of trial, the jury found Shofa guilty of Joy's murder, and he was sentenced to a minimum of 17 years in prison. But why did he do it? And where was Joy's body? Despite Joy's killer getting locked up, her family still could not find closure because he refused to tell them where he had hidden her body.
So I know one day I was here.
And you really hopeful you feel
I
that?
know that. I don't take no negative, no. Oh, it's just not a stranger conversation. This is me, it's real. I will see my daughter. I will see my girl.
The family and the police spent weeks and months searching for her, to no avail. Then, on October 5th, 2019, a dog walker in Stevenage came across human remains wrapped in bin bags and covered with logs. A DNA test later confirmed that it was Joy. A post-mortem carried out on her body could not establish the cause of death, though a pathologist found traces of ecstasy in her system, which he believes was used to make her unconscious so her killer could do whatever he wanted to do. What do you think happened to Joy? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section, and if you liked this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe.